Alright, so I'm a couple years late to Dark Souls 3. Do I care? No. Do you care? I don't know who you are and why you would, but listen to this anyways. I love Dark Souls 3. This is like actually some of the most fun gaming I've ever had in my entire life, and I'm damn near a grown man. And you know what they say, like, you start getting older, you start not liking video games anymore, but like, do I believe them? Yeah, kinda. Is it true for me as of now? No. And I'm partially enjoying it so much because I'm going through it and taking my time because I'm streaming at the same time, and it makes me feel like I'm not wasting my time when I'm playing these games. But seriously, I'm telling y'all right now, this game had no down bosses. It was insane. And I am a Elden Ring, what do they call people that are Elden Ring players and haven't played any other Souls games? I don't know, they call them something. A nepophile? I don't know what the hell that is. So before playing this game, I had no idea what the hell I was missing out on. And if you're watching this video right now, go play the game, but just watch the video on mute, you know, give me a little watch time, but go play the game right now if you've been thinking about it. So what do you guys say we get into talking about this game? First of all, I'm not going to talk about the beginning of the game. That was boring. Honestly, it was a little bit ago. I don't really remember everything that happened. I remember that I was getting my ass whooped by the Abyss Watchers, but anyways, we're going to talk about some of the later game stuff. So if you don't want to get spoiled, that's too bad. All right, so basically first, this may surprise you, but listen to this. I am not the most patient human being on this planet. So playing a game like this, you would really think it's not exactly up my alley because I can't stand losing to a boss and then having a 4-minute run back to try and get back to that place. But luckily, DS3 really doesn't have run backs like that. We're not gonna talk about the game that does because I am scared as hell of playing that game. If you're that game, you know what game you are. It rhymes with bark bowls. Boo. This game actually created one of the greatest Dark Souls highs I've ever gotten while playing a game like this. I first tried Pontiff, and to make it even better, a viewer in the chat bet that I wouldn't, so he owed me money. So that was one of the greatest moments of playing this game. And another one of the most fun parts really about streaming it was I had a viewer in my chat like almost the entire time I was playing through this whole game. He was here for basically the whole time through this whole like story of me playing, but he was telling me all the lore that was going down. So I was learning about these characters as I was discovering it. And honestly, I think it was kind of the perfect way to play Dark Souls 3. And he was also sort of guiding me through the places that I should be going and like keeping me from like really bad headaches, but still letting me hurt myself if I was making stupid decisions. So really, he kind of planned it out in his head how much he was going to help me. And it made me have one of the greatest experiences playing this game, I think, out of any other person on this planet when it was the first time playing any of these Souls games. For example, I talked about this in another video. I didn't have any fun playing Elden Ring at first because I had no idea what the hell was going on, and I was just like, in my head, I really wanted somebody to just kind of guide me where to go and tell me about cool little things. So he just played that role, so it was a great time. Off that topic, you remember when I was talking about that there's not a single down boss? Okay, sorry, there is. They're called the Deacons of whatever the hell, the Depth or some random stuff like that. They suck, but they're not hard, so you just beat them, get the stuff you need from them, and forget about them, and you're on your merry way with a smile on your face and a lunch packed for lunch. I don't know what I'm saying. And a mama made lunch and you're on your way out the door, man. It's just time to go explore new places. You're leaving the nest. But let's talk about some of these other ones, because I know if you like Dark Souls, you're gonna want to have somebody to kind of talk about this thing with. And now that I've played the game, I really want somebody to talk about this with. I think my favorite boss was Champion Gundyr, especially because the chat loved him so much. But he was just so cool, and he had all this sick lore. And also, at first, another boss I really didn't like at first was Ocerios, however you say his name. I thought he was kind of lame, but then as fighting him and learning about his lore, the dude was kind of sick. I'm not even gonna lie. And Yorm was sick too, bro. Oh, Superman! I really didn't hit a single NPC quest in this entire playthrough. I talked to a couple of them a couple times, and then I missed them throughout the rest of the playthrough. So I was kind of mad about that, and it kind of sucked because I really liked talking to those guys because I thought it was so cool to hear what they have to say and like to get their gentle hints on like where to go, and especially like seeing them as I progress through the game. I think that's so cool. I love that about Elden Ring, even though I kind of searched up tutorials and guides of how to do all the Elden Ring quests. Anyways, anytime I would come across a new boss, my mind would just get blown over how cool these guys were and then how much lore they had to go with them. And then especially there's DS1 lore that's coming up in this game, and it's just like one of the coolest things ever. So I killed every single boss and going through this game. I maybe I missed. I don't think I missed any, actually. We killed them all, even the optional ones. And one of the coolest optional ones was the Nameless King. That guy is so iconic. I couldn't believe my eyes. It felt like I was facing off against an internet legend. Like I could have been in the ring with PewDiePie IRL and I would have had the same exact feeling in my bones when I was going up against that motherfucker. That's how famous he was. It really felt like I was facing off against a god. I couldn't believe it. And then after we whooped his ass, yeah, we gave him an ass whooping. He was actually the boss that took me the longest up until this point. We actually had to leave him and come back. We took a little detour to finish the game. So we fought the final boss and then Nameless, but I think that's what a lot of people do. I mean, he's an optional boss. But let's talk about this final boss. And the thing with FromSoft bosses, which honestly could be a video of its own, they make the final boss in these FromSoft games not even close to the hardest boss. And that's such a good game design because I don't think anyone, unless it's an optional DLC that you're going through, don't worry. We will get to the DLCs later. You sit your sweet apple down and wait. We are going to get to it. But the thing with these final bosses, like I said, they're not as difficult as the most difficult bosses in the game. But that just makes sense. It's almost like every single boss you fight, and this is like almost consistent through every game, is a shell of their former selves. And like, it just makes sense because you're pulling up to this world so much later than when they were really like on top of the game. A good saying for the final boss in DS1 is you're fighting the greatest Lord of Cinder in history and you are the greatest Lord of Cinder of today. How dope is that, bro? But yeah, his music was great. He was really cool. I mean, he was the Lord of Cinder. He was all the other lords combined into one boss. And when you put that in perspective, you really see how much this game is like just throwing at you and how cool it is and how, I don't know, thought out it is to have all these things like intertwining, especially when you get to the kiln. Think about it. At the kiln, all the buildings, everything in all of the Souls games. This is why it's the last Dark Souls and there won't be a fourth. All of them are converging on the kiln. It's all gonna like smush together. I don't even know what's gonna happen. So my weapon of choice through this whole thing, this is a little detour, but let me tell y'all this little funny short story here. My favorite weapon going through this game, at first I was using a straight sword, then I was using the dual blade things that you can also start off with, but I just found them. But then I used something else, I think, for a time, and then I was using a black hand blade. That thing was sick. It was like a katana. But then I found the Lothric Knight greatsword. Viewer in chat pointed out, said it's the greatsword he uses. I said, you seem like a pro. I'm gonna trust you, see what this thing is all about. And let me tell y'all, that thing was the shit, dog. I was running through motherfudges with that thing. It was great. But eventually, in the second DLC, going up against the final boss, he was a little bit too fast. So I had to switch to the Lothric straight sword. And both of those are 5% drops. Got both of them, one killing the one with the great sword and then killing the one with the straight sword, dropped first try for me. It was awesome.
Bro. That's a fade nuts moment. That's what it's all about, bro. That's a fade nuts moment. Right when I saw that he dropped something, I was like, don't you dare. And there it was.
And also with using that greatsword, I was fighting a boss and I had two of them. Somehow I got two of them to drop. So I fought the boss and I was using the unupgraded greatsword that I had at first. I was like, what the hell is going on? These DLC bosses are something else. I can't believe what's going on. And in reality, I wasn't using the upgraded one. I was using just the one that kind of looks like it. And I had no idea until the viewer in chat pointed it out.
No way.
Alright, so I've kept you waiting long enough. Let's talk about DLC 1. It was basically nothing until Freery, I think it's Freery. And this was the first time I'd ever gone up against a boss that had 3 phases. Do you know what that felt like? The first time I fought her at the end of at the end of one of my streams, she was killing me, bro. I died maybe 30 or 40 times. But then I streamed the next day, got on. The first attempt of that day, I got her, bro. And I was so hype. I couldn't believe myself. Come on! Yes! Yes! First try! First try! I told you! And that was basically the end of DLC 1. I didn't even realize it. I got into DLC 2 and killed that fire duo boss. That was the one that I got the swords mixed up on. Those guys were kind of tough, but honestly, not that bad. Even though DLC 2 has some really hard bosses. Not that bad looking back on it, but in the moment it felt like a motherfudger. So I killed those guys, and I didn't even know I was in DLC 2. And I got to the Ring City, I was like, wait a minute, I recognize this name. But is this all DLC 1? How much do I have left in the game? And a viewer was like, you got like 3-5 hours left. I was like, wait, what? We're already in DLC 2? I thought I had like 15 hours left because I haven't even touched DLC 2 yet. So I was kind of happy and sad that the game was like actually coming to an end. But once we were in the Ring City, of course, we got killed by those archers. If you know, you know. A show clip. So I kind of have heard that before. But I guess a lot of things are... Bro, the Ringed City is such a hard name. Oh my god. So I got to run in through DLC 2, and oh my gosh, this was literally peak gaming. Probably, I don't know. Do y'all think it's the greatest DLC to ever be made in a game? So I was going to kill the final bosses, and we went up to the boss that puts a player against you, and turned out I got lucky as all heck. The guy I was fighting against, he was AFK, so I just got easy pickings and whooped him. But then, oh boy, then Midir, this son of a gun. I don't know if I've ever been more mad at a boss. This thing was whooping me so bad. It was whooping me so bad, bruh. I went and killed Gale first and had to come back. Went and killed Gale. Y'all know who Gale is. Dope as hell. I would have killed him first before coming back to Midir. That's how you know it was dire. Ended up switching weapons on Gale and everything. He was still tough. Let me talk about him. Gale is like the first insanely difficult boss that I've really fought solo against. Like in Elden Ring, I had a Mimic, except for my last run. I had a Mimic in Elden Ring for the first couple, but it was a whole nother experience, bro. It was so rewarding learning his moves, and he was hard, but he felt insanely fair. Except for that cape that kept whooping my ass. Oh, and he has a Gatling gun crossbow. Oh, who'd have thought? We might as well just give him whatever the hell he wants. Next thing you know, he's gonna be shooting laser beams out of his ass like the dragon was. Oh wait, he already does. He spawns lightning from the sky. Of course he does. Of course he does. Why wouldn't he? But it didn't give me too much troubles. I don't think I got lucky. It was all skill. You know me. It's fakeness. What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was a really good time, and he was a really cool boss, and I just loved everything about it, and beating him was so rewarding, and it felt so good and fair, and just made me happy, and I was having a hell of a time fighting through this. But then, after him, Lord have mercy, it was time to go back to Midir, and I couldn't believe it. This guy was still giving me troubles, but I didn't have all my flasks. I only had 11 flasks, so we went around, me and Ryu, the viewer that was watching through all of DS3, mostly all of DS3. Me and him went around and collected the rest of the flasks that I haven't gotten yet, and we went and fought him again. And really, all I needed was to have the confidence that I had extra flasks, and that was really all I needed to beat him this time, because I ended up using less flasks. I ended up not even using the 4 that I just got, plus 2 that I already had. So really, it was just confidence, and I whooped his ass, and I was talking that shit, and we were having a good time in the stream. If you're watching this, pull up to the stream, brother. And we got a Discord, you know, all that good stuff. But yeah, it's time to wrap this thing up, man. Let me tell y'all, Dark Souls 3, probably the best game I've ever played. I don't know if it's better than Elden Ring. I don't know how people lived in Dark Souls and all that stuff before Elden Ring. It just seems like something big was missing, because I'm a nepophile, whatever you call it. But yeah, really, that is the main takeaway of the Midir fight. This whole game, all you need is to believe in yourself and have the confidence that you can do it. And don't you dare go hollow, brother. Thank you guys for watching. Didn't really plan this outro out, so here we are. I hope you guys liked it. Like and sub. Let me know in the comments anything I could do better. I appreciate the constructive criticism. Thank you guys so much. We are going crazy on YouTube right now. It makes me so happy. Linux video coming soon. Thank you guys for watching. I got such a weird niche on this channel. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. Go check out my Twitch, Fate Nuts. We hit 50 subs. We're affiliate. We're freaking grinding. We deserve it, guys. Me and all y'all deserve this success. I appreciate y'all. Blow this video up, man. It's Fate Nuts' year. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya, boys.
Tell him, yeah, Ryu, we talk that shit around here. Ryu, we talk that shit around here. The last of his kind. It's too bad I'm around. I kill last of their kinds. I'm the one who kills like that. What you got, my dear? Right in here, bitch. I'm in here. I'm right here. I'm right here. I knew you were shit talking me.